Waymo has been crushing it. You got to give credit where credit is due. I've been a Waymo skeptic, saying that Google was slow to roll out its self-driving service, but boy, have they proven me wrong. Just a couple months ago, I took my first ride in a fully autonomous Waymo. Shout out to Omar from Homars for calling me one. He basically called me what is essentially an Uber with no one in it. Aiden and I rode in this car across San Francisco. It was the smoothest ride of any Uber ride I experienced all trip. I didn't get car sick. I felt extremely safe. The entire notion of not having to worry about driving, there not being a driver in the car. The only thing I'm worried about is enjoying the ride, talking to my friend, and selecting my music. Was actually a memory I'm probably gonna remember for the rest of my life. Like, it was a game-changing moment where Aiden and I were like, wow, we just got a fully autonomous ride. And I have my Model Y, I use FSD all the time. That is incredible, but there's something one step further about a truly autonomous taxi. And just now we got news that Waymo is on the cusp of expanding its robo-taxi service. California regulators just said the company is now allowed to expand into Los Angeles with its robo-taxi program and throughout a much broader part of the San Francisco peninsula. So this is massively expanding the Waymo area of operations. Now, up until now, Waymo's been super stealthy and quiet about its launch. Launching in the Phoenix area, in the San Francisco area, and now they have approval in LA. They've also said they want to launch in Austin, but they're very slowly expanding the service. You had to apply to be part of the program. So I think that's a really smart way to do it, step by step. Interesting to note how different this is than Tesla's strategy, which is put cameras built into the cars, use all of that data to train their neural network, let users actually operate the full self-driving software on their own vehicle in real time. We've seen insane improvements in Tesla's full self-driving software, but Waymo's taken the totally different approach, which is fully autonomous. Riders never have any liability or control over the vehicle, and they're rolling out in very tiny select geographies. I gotta say, I'm extremely bullish on both strategies and use cases. I think it's not about Waymo versus Tesla. This is about tech eating the legacy automotive industry. This is about software driving cars versus humans driving cars. I think Tesla and Waymo are on the winning side of what is set to be a tidal wave change in our economy, while all the other legacy automakers who frankly don't have the technologically and software expertise to pull this off are gonna be at a massive disadvantage, and that's why tech companies, Tesla and Waymo, are out here dominating. But I just gotta give credit where credit is due here, because it is, if you have not driven in the Waymo, it is an incredible experience to have a truly self-driving car, and they have won the race to be the first autonomous taxi service in the US that I've ever used that is truly kind of operational and somewhat of a scale. Yes, you could still say it's in beta, but this is impressive. Earlier this year, they announced that Phoenix was allowed to go on the highways in the Phoenix area. So previously just been certain city streets, it can't really drop you off exactly where you need to go. Now we're just seeing this incremental expansion at what appears to be a slightly accelerating rate for Waymo. I'm like, Gally, you were wrong. Talking about how Waymo is gonna mess up, it costs them hundreds of thousands a vehicle, they're paying too much for the data. Google always has projects like this, like Google Glass, that fizzle and never work out. Well, Waymo's actually and you also see Google Gemini, their AI project, everyone's giving them heat for that messing up. Well, I think it's important to take a step back and say, well, on this self-driving thing, Waymo has been crushing it. If Google wasn't already a $2 trillion company, I think, and dwarfing what Waymo is by its other businesses, I think we would see Waymo stock absolutely skyrocketing if it was a standalone company. Now, I just want to crunch some quick numbers for you of how big this could actually be. To put this in context and estimate how big of a business this really is for Waymo, if we assume $20 a ride, Waymo needs about 150,000 rides a day to hit $1 billion run rate. How many cars does Waymo actually have on the road that are fully self-driving? We don't know yet, but it's probably around 1,000, a few hundred in each city. We know that in San Francisco, they said they had a fleet of about 250 cars, but only 100 are really on the road at any given time. But that was about 6 months ago. So I don't know, I just think this under the radar slow expansion of what Waymo's doing extremely impressive. They're probably at a tens of millions of dollars, scaling into the hundreds of millions of dollar revenue run rate now, with the cusp of this becoming $1 billion a year business very, very shortly if they actually expand into LA and on the freeway of San Francisco. The ability to move around cities autonomously promises to radically reduce the cost of transportation, unlock massive new geographic opportunities within our cities, not to mention our roads are about to get way safer. I mean, this This is an incredible change that we all know is coming. Try and get yourself in a Waymo. If you've ridden in one, let me know what you think in the comments below. But I think this is a game-changing business. We all talk about how Tesla has so much of their valuation built in on the potential of a robo-taxi business. A fully autonomous car could unlock trillions of dollars of market capitalization. That is what everyone is saying. Well, I think Tesla cannot be ignored for its full self-driving, but neither can Waymo. I think both of these companies, frankly, are on the cusp of setting up to be hundreds of billions of dollars of self-driving businesses in the near future. And that eventually could actually move the needle for Google. So really interesting times. Shout out to Waymo. Keep an eye on this expansion. I'm gonna be following it closely. This is HyperChange. See y'all next time. Peace.